63% of men are alone compared to 34% of women. And this sprung to my mind the other day. I was having a conversation with a girl and she brought up that being a man must be so easy. You haven't got to worry about your hair. You haven't got to worry about this thing and this thing. I just looked at her in a way like you would never understand what it's like to be a guy. And I said to her, what about the male loneliness and what about how many men are lonely? And she kind of skipped over the topic and then we started joking about shit and all this. It's one of these things that women truly don't understand male loneliness, and you cannot actually blame them, to be honest. This isn't a video hating them. This is a video about just understanding it truly, because women know a complete different reality from us. So let's say this girl, she's fairly pretty, fairly attractive. She's had people in her life all the time. Guys trying to get in her life. People always doing stuff for her. People giving her a certain treatment, treating her a certain way. And if we compare that to a guy who is unhappy in himself, has no confidence, it isn't the same. And you don't have that treatment as a guy, unfortunately. You don't have that same treatment as a girl does in regards to getting given a lot of stuff and a lot of positive things and people doing stuff for you, let's say. You don't have that treatment like she does. Guys in her inbox all the time trying to message her, trying to see her, trying to do stuff with her. You don't have that luxury really, unless you're about 6'6" and look unbelievable. And it's one of these things that women do not understand. And I don't think society truly understands how many lonely men there is out there in the moment. And I've seen so many lonely men in my life, even in my life now. More people who are lonely than not lonely, especially in men. And it's a sad thing to see because these people don't understand it. Of course, these women don't understand it. They've lived a complete different life and it's not their fault. I was thinking initially that was a bit of ignorance on her behalf, but she doesn't understand. She don't have a clue. Imagine being a pretty girl, you're getting shit done for you. You're getting people do stuff for you. You're getting this person want to take you to this place, give you a lift, want to buy you this, want to take you out. And we're not even talking about, let's say for example, a date. If you're a guy and you're taking a girl on a date, you got to lead everything. You got to choose where you're going. You got to ask her out. You got to take her to this place. You got to spend the money. She don't have to really do much. So there's another example of how it isn't easier. And I just want people to get from this video, and I just want the men especially watching this video, because I know it's attract a lot of men this video, to understand that you're not alone, and also understand that it's actually a very positive thing that we don't have these same gifts and these same positive things that these women may have. We don't have these same easy things that these women have. And I'm not saying women's lives are easy, of course, but I'm just saying men really do suffer, especially with loneliness and especially with pain and sadness and all these issues. The suicide statistic, everyone knows, where men are way more likely to actually commit suicide in comparison to women. And it's one of these things that when you're a guy and you're going through hardship, you're going through pain, you feel lonely, you feel in sadness, the only positive thing that I've found is the growth that you make through that. The positive thing I found is when you improve yourself to a degree that you're actually proud of yourself, happier in yourself, and you've took yourself out of that rut, out of that sadness, out of that pain. That's where I find the true beauty is. And imagine you go from someone who's lonely, upset, not happy in himself, and you start building yourself a little bit. You start going to the gym, start building a good body, building some muscle. You start working on yourself. You start actually helping yourself, trying to understand your mental health, meditation, journaling, all these habits that will help a little bit, learning a little bit, applying yourself in a business you want to achieve or a certain area, a certain job that you want to achieve in, and your life starts improving. Your social skills start getting better. And now you're having people come into your life and it isn't as hard as it was before. That's where the true beauty comes in of being a man. That's where the true beauty comes in of it. And this is what I found. It's almost like you got to work for everything. And I mean that you got to work for everything, even like the compliments and shit you get. For example, let's say I get to the gym quite often. I get a lot of compliments on my body, but I've had to work for all them compliments. I want to got them compliments. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been considered an attractive guy by some people, or wouldn't have certain girls come into my life if it wasn't for that. And that's a crazy thing when you think, because that came from work ethic and consistency and putting myself through pain to get to that point when I haven't wanted to necessarily. Of course, you push yourself and you're disciplined. And that came from pain. That came from ups and downs, a journey where it isn't going well. And that's the way it is now. Unfortunately for us guys, man, it's an up and down journey nowadays, especially when you see what they expect some of these girls, man, the money drawing in and the height, the body, all this stuff, and they expect that. And it's a crazy thing when you truly think about it. And I just want you lot watching this to understand that you're not alone. And a lot of men are in this boat where they feel a bit alone, they feel a bit in pain, they feel in sadness, they feel like they can't attract the woman that is actually right for them. They feel like they got to settle their standards to get a girl that fits in their life properly. They feel like they're never even going to attract a girl. Some of these guys just sit in their room and don't even try, don't even go outside, don't even do things for themselves to help themselves. They're not in a good position, and they're almost in such misery and such pain. They develop anxiety to talking to people. They get a bit afraid of them interactions. They're not happy with themselves. They won't even look at the mirror. There's a lot of people who are in that boat as well, especially nowadays. And I just want you lot to understand as guys, and this is what I've started to understand, especially as I get older, is it's lonely. It is lonely. There's times where you'll have some people in your life, and then the next week, that things went wrong. You've lost these people. For example, I'll give you an example 2 years ago where I had a friend group and I had a girl in my life, and this friend group I knew for a while, this girl I knew for a little bit, and we were getting on amazing. She was my dream girl at that time. And within the same month, that all fucked up. And that was actually this month, October, 2 years ago. That all fucked up. So I lost this girl, arguments, all this stuff, off the back of something that she done. And then I lost my friend group on my birthday. And that left me in a lonely state where I hated myself, where I was in pain, when I was in sadness, and where I didn't like myself truly. And I was able to break out of that just by working, pretty much. That's the only way I got out of that. And that was just by trying to work on myself and better myself and improve myself. And that's just a apparent sign where guys are lonelier. These people, and then these people aren't coming back into their life unless they work for it, unless they put themselves in the right area. And similar people aren't coming back into their life unless they put in that effort and that consistency like I had. You have to put in that effort, unfortunately. But it's also a beautiful thing that you have to put in that effort, because you grow on a personal level and you better yourself on a personal level. And I just want you lot watching this to understand that you will be lonely as a guy, especially when you're chasing goals, chasing certain things. You will be lonely. You will have times where you're a little bit upset, a little bit sad, not feeling the best, of course. But if you keep applying yourself and trying and just keep pushing and keep trying to improve in those areas, over time you will have a compound effect on your life that's actually positive. You will have a compound effect that is actually very positive on your life, and you achieve a life where you're happy in yourself and more proud in yourself and more grateful in yourself. The issue is you got to keep working though, and that's the difference. You can't just sit back and you can't just say, oh, I didn't feel good, and sit back and go for a brunch with your friends. You can't really, man. And this is the issue, this is the difference. And I don't think this girl meant it in a arrogant way. I just don't think she understood it in the right way, because it's a complete different existence. Imagine being a pretty girl. You get so much stuff done for you, and she just can't understand the difference of realities. They think it's somewhat similar, and it's the complete opposite, which is the saddest thing, but also the most positive thing, because you build yourself into someone. And especially when you don't have them certain things, let's say the relationships you want, let's say the life you want, and you're able to work towards it and build a life that you're actually happy with. That growth that you've experienced from being in a negative position to taking yourself into a positive position is the most beautiful thing. And that will teach you so many lessons about yourself, and that's going to be a true message in this video. Hope you lot got a lot of value. If you want to achieve a physique that you're proud of, happy of, grateful of, if you want someone to coach you there and save you a lot of wasted time to get the results you want, shoot me an email at reallouis23@gmail.com.